Hi, welcome to a Chip Off the Old Block Toys. I'm Jeff. Today we've got quite the lineup. I mean literally, the lineup. So this is what we're going to do today. First we're going to review the passenger airplane. Did two live streams for the last couple days. And it's set number 60262. We're going to do the review. Then I'm going to line up several Lego planes that came out over the last several years. One of them 1985. And I believe that's the earliest one that I have. So anyway, let's start the review. This is set, like I said, set number 60262. It has 669 pieces. It's a lovely set. I enjoy building it, but I don't want to give things away before their time, so let's jump right into the review. We always do value, creativity, and playability. This set retails for $99.99, so $100, and it has 662 pieces. So off the bat, it is about 16 cents a piece. It's a little more than the 10 cents a piece for the value, but that's not the only thing that I judge when I do this. I'm going to give it a 10, and this is why. Even though the piece count is a little low for the price, you are getting a jet. And it has a nice wingspan. It looks like a jet. That's also creativity, but for the value portion, it comes with 9 minifigures. One of them is a baby. It comes with a tower, and that tower has a vending machine, a little security place, a little departures thing, a tower. You've got a baggage claim thing that carries a car, which is inside here, and you also have the ladder that goes right up to the door. And included in here is a car. So I feel that all these things for $100 is worth a 10 on the value scale. Creativity, solid 10. I mean, you cannot mistake this for anything else but an airplane. And it looks great for an airplane. I love the engines. I love the wingspan. I love the tail. I love the front. I mean, it just looks like an airplane. And on the inside, you got plenty here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Put that back on. So, creativity is a solid 10. Playability is a 10 as well. You know, you've got the cockpit here, and if I could get this off. No such luck, huh? There we go. So, you've got these controls, and these are different controls than anything Lego's ever done before. It has the kind of the double handlebar thing, and it's got the levers here. It looks just like what they have in airplanes to take off the throttle for the engines. So I think that's awesome. I love the little mapper here that tells you where you're at along your trip. I love the fact that it comes with the door that when this thing is on works perfectly, and you've got a new luggage with wheels on it. You've got a baby carrier bottle. It comes with a bathroom and a food service cart and a cargo area, which isn't so real when it comes to an airplane, because they don't usually put heavy cargo along with passengers. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but a lot of U.S. airplanes carry U.S. mail on the underside where the baggage claim is at. But they do not have cars on planes with passengers usually. So a little funny there, but the playability is a 10 because of all the features you have here. And you got the baggage claim, which does go up in order to put the car inside the cargo area. And you got this so that people can step up into the plane. And you've got the tower. So the playability is definitely a 10. It's also a 10 because Lego has come out with so many other city sets that go with this. I mean, there's Lego fire trucks, there's other Lego planes, there's a whole entire Lego city scene. So I would definitely give that a 10 all across the board. So now that we've talked about this one airplane, let's jump over and let's talk about all the different airplanes that Lego's come out with over the years. So what we have here is a collection of 20 different airplanes that Lego has come out with over the years. Now, this is not a full representation of everything that Lego's built as far as airplanes have gone. I just don't have them all, but I do have quite a few. So I'm going to go over each one, give you a little bit of history on it, and compare them. And we will start off with the earliest down to the latest. The earliest plane I own is set number 6392. It was part of an airport, and so I can't give a piece count except for the whole set. I'm not going to do that. The airport was a yellow building with black on it, and it had a green base plate runway system to it. And this one here is a simple 4-stud wide, just like the cars were back then. And this thing sat a total of 5 minifigures if you count the pilot. It had a little bit of a luggage rack here. Very simple plane, 4 engines, and it's actually is one of my favorites still to this day. The next one, and I'm sorry, but I do display or store my minifigures in weird ways. Yes, this guy would not be on top of here, but this one came out 2 years after this one, 1987, and it's set 6687. It's called a Turboprop 1. I don't ever remember there being a Turboprop 2, but it was called Turboprop 1. It came with 2 pieces. It was just the airplane, 62 pieces. Very simple set. Something you'd see at a small business airport anywhere in the US. I do like it. It's 4 studs as well. And the next 4-studder I've got is the Trans Air Carrier. This one I like. For Legos, it came with 3 containers, and that's a lot for Lego. Now, the reason I say that is back in the day, I used to actually buy whole entire Lego sets for a select few pieces because there wasn't Bricklink, there wasn't eBay, there wasn't the internet. So if you wanted extra pieces, that's about the only way you could get it. Or by calling Lego's 1-800 number and claiming that the piece was lost or stolen, and they would sell it to you, but they frowned on it. So there really wasn't a way to get too many pieces back then. So to get 3 containers is awesome for Lego. And this is set 6375, and it came out in 1990. The tail does come out, that tile piece comes off, the tail comes out, and you can access the cargo from there or from the side. Came with 4 engines, and instead of the engines being the wings being mounted on the bottom, they put them on the top. And a little different. I do like the landing gear because it's heavier. It has 5 sets of wheels instead of the traditional 3. This one here, the next one, is also a 4-studder. And this one is set number 10159. It was part of an airport. And so this one here, I don't have a piece count for it because of that. Now this one seated, again, 5 people. You've got the 4 passengers and the 1 pilot. A very simple color scheme. I like the color scheme. I like this plane. 2 engines, and a little separate flap here to open the luggage rack area here. Now, this next one is not actually a city theme. This is Indiana Jones. This set was called Peril in Peru, and it is set 7628. It came out in 2008. And this one here came with 6 minifigures, and it was a total of 601 pieces. I really like this set. It's got the propeller engines, and this is where Lego started to break away from the 4-studders. This one is 6 studs wide, and I think it fits very nice for this set, being 6 studs wide instead of the traditional 4. There's not a whole lot to this set. It does come off here, but there's no seats in here. There really isn't much to it. But like I said, it was part of Indiana Jones, and I do like it. It does not have a back landing gear. Kind of strange. I thought about adding one, but it does have the front landing gear that does retract. And this is the first set that I have where it has retractable landing gear. There are others that retract, but that's the first one. Okay, the next set in planes, and this one, it's not fair to say how many studs wide it is because it's kind of hard to determine. This was the fight on the wing, and if you've seen Indiana Jones, you remember the set where he fights this big guy, buff guy with no shirt on, and unfortunately the propeller ends up killing that guy, and so Indiana Jones wins the fight on technicality. The fight on the wing was released in 2009, 360 pieces and 4 minifigures. And yes, I'm back to the strange way that I like to store my minifigures because I don't want them to get lost and there's not enough room inside the plane, so I put them on the wing where there's studs available, which is, as you can see on this one, there are not very many studs available. However, this set is cool. It's got machine guns here, a machine gun turret back here. The cockpit does open. Simple one seat here, one seat here. And I do like, and I don't think you'll be able to see it too well, but the cockpit, they use a sticker instead of using a decorated slope. I really like that because it allows more customization of this. All right. The next plane, which is funny, even though Indiana Jones broke us away from the 4 studs, Legos went back to the 4 stud wide and building this seaplane. It is set number 3178. And this set here came out in 2010. Simple 98 pieces and 1 minifigure. That's it. And it's propeller propped. It does have a little spot here that opens up. And if I can get this open, oh, there we go. And you can stick luggage in here. And they used windows. 2 windows side by side. And that's how the luggage goes through. And there's a door on this side to catch the luggage so it doesn't just slide right through. And that's that one there. The next one we have is a passenger plane. Now this is also a departure from the 4 studs. This is a 6 stud wide. I really like this. This is a lot more modern looking than the 4 studs. This one seated a few more. You've got room for a pilot and you got room for 6 passengers. And technically, if you had another chair 7, which I've been thinking about mocking this one out, or modding it, I'm sorry, and I'm thinking about making it only 1 stud in between each chair, and I could probably fit an extra 4 chairs in here, so 10 passengers. I think that would be pretty cool. But I do like this set as well. Set 3181, and it does come with a pilot, and they came out with a fairly new control panel and 2 decorated tiles that have more controls and gauges on them. And this particular set, it came out in 2010, and so did the next one. This next one is quite large, almost as large as the one that we just built. And this one's set number 3182. It was part of an airport set, and instead of being 4 or 6 studs wide, this one is an entire 10 studs wide, and or 8 studs. Pardon me. Awesome. I love this. 8 studs is awesome. Love the engines on this guy. Love the stickering, the fuel. And this one here, it has a working door, which, yeah, pieces go flying off when you try using it, but here you go. And in addition to this, the roof is removable, and I'm trying to do this gently because I don't want to undo all the hours I put into putting all these together. Okay, so here we have. This one seats a total of 10 passengers, and it does have a space for 2 pilots instead of 1 pilot. And I think that's kind of the benefit of having 8 studs versus the 6 or the others, is you actually have the room to have 2 pilots side by side. It has a little place you can prepare meals, and I guess this is a little bit more than just coach, maybe business class here with a table in between. But I do like this set just for the mere fact that it's the 8 studs and the controls. They put a sticker here with a lot of gauges and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. And moving on to the next one, we've got the fire plane. And this particular, I did that wrong. You know, I will worry about this later. I'm not going to really worry about this right now. Okay, so we have the fire plane, and the next one is actually the cargo plane, and actually it's not. I'm sorry. It is this training jet. Now this one does have more to it. This one has a semi with a trailer on the end of it. I included only the plane because we're not comparing everything else. We're just comparing the planes. This is supposed to be like a jet fighter, sort of. It is weaponless. However, this set, it does have 6 studs wide, and the cockpit is 4 studs wide. It does look like a jet, single engine jet. It's got the fuel in the tanks and the wings. It's got the rescue sticker, and it's got the radar cone on the front of it. Now, this particular thing came out in 2015. So we're getting closer to modern day. 435 pieces, and it came with 3 minifigures and, like I said, a semi with a trailer on the end of it. And let's see, the next one here is actually the Fireplane. The Fireplane is simply a really cool set. It is 6 studs wide, so it comes away from the 4 studs again. And actually, Lego doesn't really go back to the 4 studs until we get to this other one way over here, which we'll get to. This set here is 2015. It has a compartment here, and Lego only gave like 6 little water, these trans clear blue, if I can get one out, bricks. Yeah, I gave you a few. I filled mine with as many as I can, and it's got about 30 in there. It can fit 10 more, I just don't have them. It's a very simple plane. There's not much to the interior. There's a spot for 2 minifigures here, but there's not a whole much of an interior because it's mostly a plane that carries water and drops it. And as you can see, it's meant to land on a lake. And I like the engines. They're actually detailed. They're not just simple. And of course, I released the lever, and that would happen. Okay. All right. Well, I will clean that up later. So, after the Fireplane, we have the air cargo plane. This guy here is in better shape than this guy because I hit him on accident, but this is 6 studs wide. This one's a very simple plane. It's not very big. At the same time, this one came out, Lego came out with a much larger cargo plane that was approximately the same size as this guy here. Boy, I'm having fun, aren't I? And it's the same color scheme. It was green. And the thing is, I just didn't have the money at the time that this came out. So I went with the smaller of the 2. I do kind of regret that decision now, but as you know, once Legos retire, they usually cost an arm and a leg, and I don't feel like spending an arm and a leg. So there's this plane here. The tail does come up while unloading to make it easier. There isn't a whole lot to it, just 2 engines. And it has a minifigure on the inside. And this particular cargo plane came out in 2016. And this next one also came out in 2016, and it's called the Airport VIP Service. Now again, we're only comparing the planes. So the limo that came with this, I did not include it, and there was also a little vehicle for the taxiway for this guy. And because we're not comparing that, we're just comparing the airplanes, I left those out. But I just wanted to let you know there's other pieces to this. And this set was set number 60102, and like I said, 2015. This set is actually kind of luxurious. Oh, I know it does come off here. So this one only seats a total of 3 people. Well, 4 if you include the pilot. It does have one of those maps that the passengers can track where they're flying, where they're at, and it's got a nice little eating area here, a little table here, and it's got a little TV here. I like the color scheme to it as well. It's a well put together set. And then the next set that we have came out in 2016, and this one came with 3 airplanes. It was called the Airport Air Show, and I like this one. This one came with a biplane. It is turbo. It is just a regular propeller draft plane. And this set here came with a place for someone to stand when they're doing their stunts and stuff. That would never be me. I'm too afraid to do something like that. I don't have the guts. But hey, more power to you if you can. And this one has a tiny, tiny little landing gear thing in the back. And this set also came with 2 jets. And I like the fact that they made the jets different. They're not the same. You've got the same color scheme, the black, red, and white. However, you've got 2 engines here, 1 engine here, 2 tails, 1 tail. So they did make them different, and their air intakes for the jets even look different. So they're a different profile, and it's really cool. I like it, and I love the helmets with the stars on it. Looks pretty cool. And so it was these three planes here that came out and together in the airport air show, and that was in 2016. Also in 2016 was the ambulance plane. The ambulance plane 6 studs wide. It does have stickers on here for the fuel. It does have a spot in the back here that you can load up the patient, and there is a stretcher with a patient on here. Don't know what he did. Probably lots of alcohol involved. Just kidding. A lot of accidents are though. Kind of a sad statement, but yes, true. And you've got 2 minifigures to this set. Very simple set. But again, I like it. And alright, so the next one we've got is a Daredevil stunt plane. This one came out in 2018. It's set number 31076. It's a very simple plane, like the colors. Of course, being that I'm from the United States, it has the red, white, and blue. It reminds me of something that's patriotic in this country, and it's got the stars on it, which remind me of the stars of our U.S. flag. And if you're not from the U.S., that's okay too. Just because I'm from the U.S., I like this plane. And this one has a unique landing gear where they actually use some macaroni tubes, which none of the other planes that I have that. Okay. So the next one is actually a plane that I did not have time to put together, and that's the mail plane. It's a very simple set. It's set number 60250. It was released in 2020, just last year. And this one only has about 74 pieces. That's it, and 1 minifigure in a mailbox. Very simple. It's back to 4 studs wide. And you would think that the one I started off with is the latest. It is actually not. This one was released last year in 2020. And this one has 664 pieces. I've already gone over it in the beginning of the video, so I will not do it again. But this is a pretty large plane. Only 2 engines. And like I mentioned, I wish they would have put extra, but it's okay. They didn't. I actually have the pieces to do it. I just might do it. But anyway, the latest plane to come out that I own is the the Air Show Jet Transporter. It was just released this year in 2021, 271 pieces, and it's set number 60289. I've mentioned in the video that I built this that I think that this was a rather sly, cheap way to get around using the Blue Angels, because you notice they've got the royal blue, and they've got the royal blue here, and then they use this yellowish orange color in it. Well, if you've ever seen the real planes, it's the opposite. They're primarily the royal blue, and they have this other color as the striping on it. So I think that they use those colors on purpose. Regardless if they did or didn't, I love the plane. There's nothing wrong with it except for some pieces start to come off. But as for design, it's great. I love it. I love the air intakes for the jet engines, and I love the outtakes here. And it's a simple 4 wide to 6 wide here plane. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you have, please hit the like button. I spent a lot of time finding these and putting these together, and please reward me. I'd really appreciate it. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Drop me a comment below and turn on all notifications for the channel. I currently release a video every day or do a live stream every single day. And if you want to see more content, please keep supporting the channel. And you can support the channel by heading to PayPal. There's a link in the description, and you can make a donation. You could also head over to my store on Bricklink. It's called A Chip Off the Old Block Toys. There is a link in the description to get there. We have just a little under 800,000 pieces right now, and I am sorting about another 50,000 as we speak. Hopefully by the end of the week I will have those uploaded and ready to go. Well, again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button. Be good to each other. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next video.